Okay, there you go. Apurva, Rohit, turn on the videos, guys, if you can. Would be a better close discussion. Awesome. So see, they go, let's start, right? I'm sure you all have prepared. Whatever is done is done. Now is not the time to discuss or how do I improve on a section, right? Whatever you have prepared, howsoever you have been scoring so far, right? The idea here is, and see, what is, so again, I'll not be like a daydreamer and won't say, ki, yaar, if you're scoring 70s in a section, tomorrow you will end up scoring 98, 99. Doesn't happen. But then what has happened and what can definitely happen is in the last 10 mock that you've taken, right? Whatever is the individual maximum of your VRC, whatever is the individual maximum of your LRDI, whatever is the individual maximum of your quant, right? Across all the 10 mocks, that you can definitely score. So in some mock, if you have ended up scoring 95 in VRC, in other mock you have scored say 98 in LRDI, in some mock you have scored 99 in quant. That means 95, 98, 99 is your local maxima of each of the three sections. So tomorrow you can definitely hit that score, right? And all you have to do is the individual strengths that you have shown in individual mocks, you just have to bring it together, right? And of course, how do you do that? You can't change anything right now. The what really helps a lot is I've seen a lot of students who have been scoring 99.9, 100, 99.8 continuously in last 5, 6 mocks. In exam, they end up scoring 97, 98. Right? That happens very common. Almost every year, there are 20, 30 students who end up in that zone, right? And percentile is a relative thing. If they have come down, of course, there are students who have raised from 96, 97 to 99.5 plus as well. Right? The only thing that really makes or breaks such thing is how do you maintain that calm and composure during the exam, right? Which of course we'll discuss with some practical scenarios on, plus some of the past students' stories, right? That how does it happen? So, see, a couple of things. What tomorrow you have to do is, by the way, can I just hear who all are in slot one, slot two, slot three?
I'm in slot one.
Slot one is Anirudh and Apuru. Is it?
I'm
Yes.
also short one, sir.
Okay. So all the boys are in slot one. What about the ladies here?
Slot
I'm
2.
slot
Slot
3.
two. Nitya is slot three. Okay. I'm also slot three. Nitya.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Awesome. ठीक है यार. So देखो, slot one guys. Those are the basic hygiene. Admit cards, print it right now. If you haven't printed it already, go after this session. The most important thing that you have to do is go and print admit card. Right after printing the admit card, uske niche instructions are written. You don't have to reach out to any other mentor. Clearly, instructions are written below the admit card on what all do you have to carry. One admit card, colored photo. One has to be pasted, and one photo spare. Right. Again, it is not necessary that the photo has to be same as what you have uploaded during the registration card. Plus minus things are okay, but make sure that that photo is recent, last 6 to 1 year. It shouldn't be like photo और तुम्हारी शक्ल ही पहचान में नहीं आ रही, right? That should not happen. ठीक है? That's one. Second, pen. Take some ball pen with you. But most likely 99% they'll not allow you to take pen inside. But still, just to mitigate the risk, take pen with you. In case you have a favorite pen, take pen with you. Highly likely they will ask you to put your pen outside only. Okay? But okay, just carry. Don't wear anything shiny, right? Rings, all of that has to be opened. Jewelry, nothing has to be carried, right? Watches not allowed. You don't need a watch in exam, right? So no watch, whether it's digital, not digital. Just keep watch at home. Try to go as easy as you can so that you don't have any luggage, right? Any baggage. Then wear a jacket. Go in simple, comfortable clothes. For example, every year when I go to CAT, I simply wear pajamas and t-shirts and maybe a jacket. It will be cold, right? Even in exam, you might feel that your fan is on. At home, fan is typically not on during these seasons, but it might happen that exam center mein fans are on. So be fully prepared. Take your sweatshirts or light jacket with you so that you're comfortable even if fan is on, right? Then it can happen that you're feeling cold or maybe hot inside it. Manage it accordingly. Every center is different. You will not be able to adjust the situation inside the center. It can happen that there is a lot of noise, there is a background music coming from your center, keyboards are not working, electricity, pitch is happening. All of that can happen. All of that happen every year. a day after CAT, LinkedIn and Facebook feeds are full of these RRs where people are just cribbing, "Yeah, my center was that bad, my center is that bad." But because your entire career is at stake, make sure you are mentally prepared. अंदर जाके हसल नहीं करना है यार, my center is bad, hence I wasn't able to perform my CAT. You have taken CAT, you have taken enough mocks, and you all are prepared. No matter how the scenario is, no matter how the external factor is, you don't have to be focused there. Okay? That's there. It might happen कि during the exam also what happens typically is कि at times power cut हो गया, keyboard is not working, right? So make sure you will have 1 hour before the test starts and you will be on your place, right? So make sure you check everything. Keyboard is working fine, mouse is working fine, right? Monitor is working fine. There is no visibility issue there. Power cut may or may not happen. Even if it is happening, you don't need to panic. That test resumes from the time that it went, right? So for example, in between VRC section 20 minutes mein, if the power cut is happening, somehow there are no inverters in your center and lap and the monitor just blows away, right? You don't have to be worried on that. वापस से 20 मिनट से start हो जाएगा. Any which ways you can't change that, right? So आके तो cat के these exceptions happen always, and then there are no retakes here. Okay, so I'm just preparing you mentally for the worst so that just in case it happens, you don't panic. Panic kiya, then to clearly you are out of the cat race. That is the biggest mistake you or any cat aspirant can make. यार कुछ भी हो रहा है, panic. मैंने तो ये सोचा ही नहीं. I wasn't mentally prepared. Why is this happening with me? God help me, save me, blah blah blah. All of that should not be running in your mind tomorrow. Okay, people who are in the morning slots, I'm hoping that you all have prepared, acclimatized your mind and body in the same fashion. Last 15-20 दिन से mocks इसी slots में दे रहे होंगे, so you are now prepared. Morning में कब उठना है? I don't have to go there. Morning people get up early. Make sure you are at center 30 to 40 minutes minimum before. बहुत बार होता है. Tomorrow there'll be a lot of rush, lot of traffic you will face. Normally, if it takes you 10 minutes to go from A to B, tomorrow it will take you 20 minutes for sure. Right? Because every place there'll be thousands of students trying to reach the same center B from across the places. So at the same time. So definitely there'll be a lot of traffic. So hence 10 minute अगर लगता है मैप में आज, कल को 20 लगेगा ही लगेगा. So make sure you have that margin. बहुत बार ये होता है, people panic, right? Last time I also recall I reached the center 5 minutes ago. I was like, यार कार लेके जा रहा हूँ, पहुंच जाऊंगा सेंटर पे. But even then I reached the center just 5 minutes ago and then I was literally panicking. I was in a car, सामने कोई अंकल जा रहे थे with our daughter. My car crashed with them because traffic इतना ज्यादा होता है, right? So hence again, try not to drive it, right? Try not to take your own vehicles. बहुत ट्रैफिक होगा, बहुत रश होगा, तुम किसी की कार पे टक्कर लगा दोगे, अंकल will come out, they'll hold you. मेरे साथ लिटरली ये हुआ था. तो इवन मेरी फटी थी यार. Only 5 minutes are left and this uncle is coming. They're asking me to open the gate, asking me to sort of come out. Somehow I got away from that situation. But the lesson learned is this time I'm not taking my car to the center for sure. Right? Lend a car, lend an Ola, ask your parents, ask your family to drop you to the center. Okay? Center पहले चले जाओ. Now, even before the gate opens, right? 30 minutes, gates are closed. You'll be alone, and there'll be a lot of students discussing. मैंने तो ये कोचिंग ज्वाइन किया था, मेरा मॉक्स में ये हो रहा है, ये क्वेश्चन तो डेफिनेटली आएगा. Try to keep yourself away from all the gossips. Nothing will change, right? So make sure you're not a part of these gossips. अंदर जाके कोई distraction नहीं चाहिए. You have to be simply focused कि जाके एग्जाम देना है. ठीक है. Then another thing, then the gate and all opens. You will put your luggage, your bags, your mobile phones in case you are carrying them to a place. Andar hota hai. So every 99% of the centers have a security deposit inside, right? Wahan pe you keep your luggage or the bags. Keep loose money with you because most of it is chargeable. They'll ask you 10 rupees, 20 rupees. You will say, मेरे पास change नहीं है, 50 का note है. They'll be like, नहीं, तुम change करा के आओ. So have loose 5 रुपए, 10 रुपए, 20 रुपए रख लेना अपने पास, right? It helps to sort of save your time. Okay, water bottle is allowed. Do carry a water bottle with you in mild temperature, ठीक है? Because you don't want कि वहाँ प्यास लग रही है or going out wasting your time. Get freshen up even before you enter into the center. बहुत लोग एग्जाम के बीच में उठ के जाते हैं. So all of that shouldn't happen. These are small minor things, but it happens with the students, right? So it just distracts you when you're in the momentum. You have to sit for 2 hours is for paper. 1-1.5 घंटे पहले तुमको बैठना है तो minimum 3.5 to 4 hours you have to sit in a go, right? So make sure you have all the things that you need, right? If you have some medical case, have your gadgets and whatever medical device you want to carry with you. That's there. And then I think then the biggest time will be that 1 hour you are in front of the monitor, and then the monitor will start only after 1 hour, right? So wahan pe bahut sara panic and a lot of thought process starts coming in. Try to close your eyes, calm yourself, make sure you're not distracted. And these are small things, but all of this is something that you will definitely face tomorrow. Okay? And once the paper starts, just go. I think you all are prepared very well. But see, Cat is very much known for giving you a lot of surprises, right? So you might have prepared certain kinds of mocks since last 1 month, 1.5, 2 months. Tomorrow, paper pattern might change. VRC could be very easy. A new type of VA question might be introduced as it was introduced last to last year, right? वो जो ये fill in the blanks था, right? It wasn't happening in CAT earlier, but then all of a sudden it started happening. I think last year or maybe last to last year. So these small things keep on coming, but just recall, if it is tough for you, it is tough for everyone. If it is easy for you, don't become so overconfident. Yeah, in the mocks, I was only able to attempt 12. Somehow I'm able to attempt 20 questions in a section now. मैंने तो फोड़ दिया, right? And if you become overconfident, that gets propagated to the next section where you sort of underperform. So if it is easy for you, it's easy for everyone. If it's tough for you, it is tough for everyone. So since like till CAT 2024, LRDA used to be an easy section. Whatever we study at the coachings, that is what used to come in the exam also. So typically people used to attempt 2 to 3 sets, बहुत ही normally, right? Good students, they end up, no, sorry, I think back then they used to be 8 sets. CAT 2015 mein, there used to be 8 sets. So people used to attempt 5 to 6 sets very easily. People who are scoring good end up attempting 7 sets also, right? And the 100% students used to attempt 8 sets also. So all of a sudden, CAT 2015, what happened is somehow people were not able to attend more than 3.5 sets. So people who used to attempt 6 sets, their level went down. They were not able to attempt 3 sets. And in that, they started panicking. So even the 3 sets that they have attempted, right? What happened was a lot of inaccuracies happened. So people who were able to attempt 3 sets correctly, they ended up scoring 99.5 plus. And people who even panicked in those 3 sets, they ended up scoring 90-91, right? So here, I think I'll come to my personal story. So again, I've been writing mocks. Score was 99.7, 8. LRDA has been अच्छा खासा चल रहा था 99.5 plus. I went in paper. VRC, I think there used to be 34 questions back then. I attempted 29-30 questions. That has been my trend, 50% accuracy. So 30 attempts is what I had to maximize. So that strategy worked for me in VRC. Then came the LRDI. I was like, out of 8 sets, I have to attempt 7 sets around, because I have been doing that in mocks also. Set number 1 nahi hua, set number 2 nahi hua, set number 3 nahi hua. And then I started panicking here. Out of 8 sets, 3 sets have gone. The first 3 sets, somehow it's not clicking for me. And timer was like 20 minutes were gone. So it used to be 60 minutes ka sectional section back then in 2015. So 20 minutes, 0 attempt, 40 minutes were left. And then I was like, yeah, 40 minutes mein kitna hi ho jayega? Now though it is gone. And then a lot of thoughts started coming ki yaar, इस साल तो इतनी तैयारी करी थी. I have a lot of opportunity cost with me. मैंने job change नहीं किया, next year करना. Literally during the exam center, I started thinking all of this, right? And then somehow I just took a break, 2 minutes. I closed my eyes. I sipped uh, uh, a bit of water, right? And then I started the paper again, very fresh, right? And this time I started in the reverse order. I went, yeah, okay, whatever has happened. Let's maybe move to set number 8 and then start in the reverse order. In last 40 minutes, I was somehow able to solve 5 sets, right? And then I was again not very convinced, because I was able to attempt around 7 sets in the exam. But here, then somehow that speed came in, and then I was able to attempt 5 sets in last 40 minutes. And somehow when I came out, I called a couple of my folks who were preparing with me in the dream team, and then they were like, "यार 3 set ही हुए मुझसे तो 3.5 set ही हुए, 4 set ही हुए." And then I was like, somehow I was one of the person who was able to solve maximum number of sets. Right? Then I started doubting myself. But then, of course, all of this happened. कि यार, you don't know when you are in the exam कि यार actually में paper tough है या नहीं, because you go with that preconceived notion. LRDA में तो इतना attempt होता है, QA में तो 12 से 15 क्वेश्चन तो हो ही जाते हैं. tomorrow, if the paper is easy, you might have to increase that 12, 15 to 20 attempts. If the paper is difficult, 12 to 15 attempts might come down to 9 to 10 attempts as well. The only thing that will be the differentiator will be your accuracy. 10 question की है, 9 on 10 has to be minimum right? Because accuracy, if it goes for a toss, then you're definitely out of the this race, right? And then again, giving back to my example, उस time पे क्या हुआ था? This because LRDA surprisingly was tough. A lot of it moved to the QA section. Yeah, when I was attempting my QA, I was like, yeah, LRDM, I was not able to do my best. My attempts were low. So literally the first 4 or 5 minutes went in just sort of coming out of that FOMO and fear. Ki, yaar, hey, I've literally messed up my LRDA section. So giving those stories, because it happens nearly every year with a lot of students. Now that you know, make sure if it is happening with you, you treat it as like a natural phenomenon. Ki, yaar, theek hai, ho raha hai to ho raha hai, right? So yeah, I think that's about it. Quant may try to do a round-wise approach. A lot of time, the mistakes that people make, that people end up making is, yaar, ki I'm attempting a question, right? You get so involved in a question that your time goes for a toss even before you end up attempting the sitters. Every year, 7 to 8 questions are sitters. That any student, even without their preparation, they can go and attempt 7 to 8 questions for sure. The only thing that really creates a lot of problem is that you're not able to choose those 7 to 8 questions because you end up spending a lot of time in your difficult questions. So I'm certain you all have already practiced it during the mocks, but make sure everyone has to go and at least see all the 24 questions out there, right? 24 questions are not meant to be attempted. Even the CAT convener gives 24 questions. उसमें से कहता है यार, a good students will choose the right 15, 16 questions and will only attempt it, right? A not so good student will end up spending time in those 7 to 8 questions, which we have deliberately put so hard that people will end up spending more than 5, 6 minutes. And if they do it, then the question selection goes for a toss, and that's not a good management skill, right? So hence, make sure you choose your battles right. Question nahi ho raha hai, don't put your ego there. Leave that question after 2.5, 3 minutes. No matter how easy that question looks, move to the next question. ऐसा भी बहुत बार होगा, यू विल फील यार ये क्वेश्चन तो मैंने कर रखा है मॉक में, आई शुड बी एबल टू सॉल्व इट, क्यों नहीं हो रहा? 3 मिनट, 4 मिनट, 5 मिनट. कीप ए टैप ऑन द टाइमर, राइट? टाइमर पे अच्छे से ध्यान रखो कि यार हाउ मच टाइम आर यू स्पेंडिंग इन अ क्वेश्चन. इट शुडंट हैपन कि पेपर से आने के बाद यू आर लाइक यार क्वेश्चन में ज्यादा टाइम दे दिया, आगे तो सिटर था, आई विश आई वुड हैव गॉन एंड सॉल्व दैट क्वेश्चन. ऑल ऑफ दैट शुडंट हैपन, राइट? That's it. People who are in slot 2 and slot 3, don't open social media platforms till you are done with your CAT exam. CAT 1, CAT का slot 1 खत्म होगा. A lot of analysis will come, right? I know बहुत feelings होती है यार, जाके देखे कि पेपर कैसा है, easy है, tough है. A lot of it changes across the slot, and any which ways, whether paper is easy or difficult, you can't change it. Speak to the mentor, speak to just one person. It can be your friend who is in slot 1. See, now that you all are in this forum, you know who are in slot 1, you know who are in slot 2. Just call any one person to just understand the high level of the pattern, but don't discuss क्या था, कैसा है, कितने question पे कितना score आएगा. All of that is something that you should not at all be bothered about. And there'll be a lot of noise floating in WhatsApp groups, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Try to keep your emotions away from those, because those will just distract you, and that will give you something which you'll not be sort of proud of, right? So yeah, I'll take a pause here, invite any questions that you may have, and then I'll move forward. Yeah. Anyone has any questions? Anything you want to discuss? Ask. On the photo, I think you'll also have to sign. So make sure that you sign the photo in a cross format, and then I think one of the signature is also meant to be done in front of the administration. So yeah, those are the things.
So there are ideas floating around that there are a lot of pattern changes for DILR or something. So strategy, strategy should remain the same. And is it okay to know from slot 1 that okay, there's at least the pattern is changed?
Yes. Hence, you can, but then don't focus a lot on a lot of analysis. Anyone, it can be a friend of yours from slot 1, right? Or it can be just general knowledge ki yaar, because the number of questions, if that are changing, you will get to know that. Right? Slot
Yeah.
one, slot two, slot three. So you can little bit be prepared, but then don't focus a lot on it. Right? So, plus any which ways strategies won't change. It is
Yeah.
same as what you have been preparing so far. So yeah.
Okay.
And do let me know after you are done with your after you are done with your exam, how did it go? How many questions did you attempt? Maybe I'll come back live tomorrow to discuss on all the slots. After discussing individually with students, how was the paper? How many attempts did you make? What can be the expected score, right? And then cause people who are expecting good answer key also comes in 2 3 days. The next immediate step will be to focus on other exams and GDPS soon after the CAT is done. All of that we'll discuss after the CAT is done. So far, the focus is only on tomorrow. Today, what you have to do is again, no mock today, no sectional today, right? The only thing you have to do is first revise all the mock analysis you have done. I'm sure you all are maintaining a mock sheet where you're writing against every mock. Hey, this was the learning, this is the blunder that I have made. Go through that so that you don't end up repeating that tomorrow. Second, revise your quant notes. It should not happen that you end up forgetting a formula because of which you somehow mess up, right? So that's it. In case you want some formulas, I have also created something that you can opt out for. Let me just share it here. Right. So this is a formula sheet I created and it pretty much covers all the sections. I've shared the link here. In case you don't have any formula book or you want something to revise quickly, you can just sign up for this also. I've shared the link in the Google Meet chat. Okay, I think that's about it. Happy to take any more questions or we can disperse.
Just another question that usually people say that in CAT you would have more seriousness, so you might be avoiding more like mistakes which normally happen in mocks. So,
Correct.
I mean, of course, I cannot rely on that, but any other, safety checks to have. Of course, like some anxiety would also be there, and because of that, we might avoid mistakes. But
See, typically, take a small break after every section. For example, done with VRC, sip water, close your eyes for a minute, 1.5 minutes, and then start the next section after that so that you don't carry any baggage of the last section. That helps in at least avoiding any silly mistake or wasting time in another section. Second could be those marking the questions for
Hmm.
review. That's what typically helps. Third could be attempting questions in round, making sure you just go and attempt the easy ones first, right? And yeah, if required, give extra 10 15 seconds to make sure you don't do those silly mistakes, right? 10
Hmm.
15 seconds extra deke, if it hits your accuracy well, go for it.
Okay,
But nothing more that I would suggest on the last day to go and experiment,
makes sense. Okay.
right? Yeah, read the questions very, very carefully. A lot of times, CAT plays this gamble where in the question it is double negative. Which of the following question, the following statement, if not true, would weaken the argument of the author? Right. So questions like this, it is like double negative, and people don't read certain words, and then they end up marking the question uh, that is correct. Right. So question reading has to be very, very proper. Read the question twice before marking it an answer, because वहां पे बहुत सारा gamble होता है. There'll be a lot of not questions tomorrow. There'll be a lot of questions which are asked in an indirect format, right? And you might feel कि नहीं direct पूछा है. So yeah, these are the kind of variations that happen in CAT. Okay, sure. I think that's it then. All the best, guys, and let me know how it goes tomorrow. Happy to take any question you have. You can reach out to me offline also. Okay,
Thank you
all
so
the
much.
best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
All the best for everyone.